I swear I never meant to send that text. One careless second, one autocorrect mistake, one message that was supposed to go to my best friend, but instead landed in my boss's inbox. I think I want her. I realized what I had done the moment I saw her name above the message. My heart stopped. My stomach dropped. And before I could figure out how to fix it, she replied with just 2 words, "We'll talk." That night, at exactly 9:47 p.m., someone knocked on my door. And when I opened it, she was standing there. If you've ever made a mistake that changed your life forever, stay with me, because what happened next taught me something about love, courage, and honesty that I will never forget. Have you ever pressed a send and immediately wished you could disappear from the planet? Because that's exactly where my story begins. I've always been the careful one. The quiet employee, the dependable project coordinator who triple checks emails and never misses deadlines. Working at the research lab wasn't just a job to me, it was my dream, and she was the reason. Dr. Alina Rahman wasn't just my boss. She was brilliant, confident, calm under pressure, the kind of leader who could walk into a room and command respect without raising her voice. She had this quiet strength about her that made everyone stand a little straighter. But to me, she was more than that. It started innocently. Late meetings, coffee runs before presentations, the way she'd smile slightly whenever I solved a problem faster than expected. We worked closely on a high-stakes pharmaceutical project, and long nights in the lab became our routine. I told myself it was admiration, professional respect, until it wasn't. One evening after another 14-hour shift, I texted my best friend, "I think I want her." Except I didn't send it to my friend. I sent it to her. I stared at my phone in horror. The little delivered appeared like a death sentence. I thought about quitting, about changing my name, about moving cities. Then her reply came, "We'll talk." No emoji, no explanation, just those 2 words. The next day at work, she acted completely normal, calm, focused, professional. If she was bothered, she didn't show it. That made it worse. Every time she walked past my desk, my pulse spiked. Every time she said my name in a meeting, I wondered if everyone could hear the guilt in my breathing. At 7:30 p.m., after everyone else had left, she stepped into my office. "Are you free tonight?" she asked gently. I nearly choked. "Yes." Yes. She studied me for a moment, not angry, not amused, just thoughtful. "We should talk outside the office," she said. "This deserves honesty." Honesty, that word terrified me. I went home feeling like my career was hanging by a thread. I paced my apartment for hours, replaying every interaction we'd ever had. Maybe I'd imagined everything. Maybe I'd crossed a line. Maybe she felt uncomfortable and didn't know how to say it. Then, at 9:47 p.m., someone knocked on my door. When I opened it, she was standing there. No lab coat, no clipboard. Just her, wearing a simple sweater, hair slightly loose, eyes softer than I'd ever seen them. "I didn't think this conversation belonged in a cafe," she said quietly. And suddenly, this wasn't about a text anymore. Me. It was about feelings we had both been pretending didn't exist. What she said next could have ended my career or changed my life forever. She stepped inside slowly, looking around my small apartment like she was stepping into a new world. There was no authority in her posture now. "No professional distance. I'm not here to fire you," she said, almost reading my thoughts. I exhaled for the first time in 24 hours. "But we need to be careful," she continued. "Not because what you feel is wrong, but because it matters." That word again. Matters. I swallowed hard. "I'm sorry. Hi. I didn't mean to send that. It was supposed to go to my friend." "I would never disrespect you." She smiled faintly. "Do you regret what it said?" That question hit differently. Did I regret it? No. I regretted the panic, the fear, the timing, but not the truth. "I don't regret the feeling," I admitted. "I just regret putting you in a difficult position." For a long moment, she didn't speak. Then she surprised me. "You think this is only difficult for you?" She explained that she had noticed the tension too. The unspoken glances, the energy in the lab when we worked side by side. She had ignored it because she was my superior, because she valued fairness, because she never wanted her authority to blur boundaries. But when I saw that text, she said softly, "I realized something." My heart pounded. "I wasn't upset because you felt that way. I was upset because I felt it too." The room felt smaller. warmer. But reality quickly followed emotion. There are policies, she said firmly. There are risks. If we explore this, we do it responsibly. Transparency, professionalism, no secrets. And if it ever compromises your growth, I step back. It wasn't a dramatic confession. It wasn't fireworks or reckless passion. It was mature, grounded, real, and somehow that made it more powerful. Over the next few weeks, we approached HR together. We requested departmental restructuring, so I would report to another senior lead. We made sure no favoritism could ever be questioned. People were surprised, some whispered, but we stayed steady because what we were building wasn't based on impulse. It was based on honesty. Months later, after a successful project launch celebration, we stood outside the lab watching the city lights. She said, smiling, if you hadn't sent that text, we'd probably still be pretending. I laughed. A worst mistake of my life. A best mistake of mine, she replied. And that's when I understood something important. Sometimes the thing you fear most isn't failure, it's vulnerability. If I had deleted that message fast enough, if I had buried the truth like I always did, I would have kept my comfort and lost something extraordinary. Life doesn't change because you plan perfectly. It changes when you're brave enough to be honest. So if you're holding back from telling someone how you feel, whether it's love, admiration, or even an apology, remember this. The message you're afraid to send might be the one that sets you free. And sometimes the knock on your door isn't the end of your career, it's the beginning of your courage.